Hey everyone, how are you doing? JesseHOH and welcome back to another video. Today I'm finally doing the Q&A and I already started recording this. Sorry about that. Hopefully you didn't hear that. That was the actual video. I don't know why I didn't. Whatever. Let's restart. Hey guys, JesseHOH, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing the Q&A. Now I actually filmed some of this and then the recording was being a bitch, so whatever. Now, as you can see, I upgraded. So I no longer have the little thing down the bottom of the screen, which is awesome. Let's go. But let's start today. So I said yesterday it was closed. So it's been open for about 12 days, which is longer than I thought. But whatever, we're going to hop right into it. So, first question, the first three questions are from More Lightning Rocks. And that first question is, which TDN character had the most rigged elimination? And I would say, in my eyes, the most rigged elimination was Lucario in Season 20. He basically got eliminated because he was mad that Greninja got eliminated. So that's that. Don't even go back and watch it. It was just bullshit. Easily the worst elimination I ever did. Um, Second question they got is, which season is the worst in my opinion? Now, obviously my least favorite is the redo. But I would say other than the redo, I also really just don't like Battle of the Genders. So yeah, I'll say Battle of the Genders and the redo. The third question is worst contestant hated in TDN by other contestants. I would say a lot of the antagonists of the seasons are the ones that are actually the most hated. So like Red in this season, and like Slow King, and I guess Neku was at first, but now he's pretty beloved by the rest of the players. Who else? Heavy as well. You know, the villains, I guess, are the ones that who are the most hated. But again, villains are my favorites. So that's that. Cheers a lot for your questions. Next, we got a few questions from Jen Soku. Jen Soku. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. Forgive me if I didn't. That first question is, what would I do if there was an arc in TDN? Now, I never plan to do an arc in TDN. I just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I don't like. Well, I enjoy watching arcs, but I wouldn't personally film an arc myself. I guess season 33 was one big arc, but with the hosts, having to keep the show. I guess that's the only arc I would ever do. I'm never ever doing another arc again. But if I had to, I would do one maybe where all the villains, all the antagonists of all the seasons come back. Um, if I had to, that's what I would do, but I would never do one again. The next question is, what is the longest TDN episode you've ever filmed? And obviously, I can't name from the first 13 seasons because they're not here anymore. And I'm also not going to name double elimination, or double episodes, not double episodes, because it's two episodes in one. I would say the longest was actually the most recent episode, the finale of 42, which happened this morning. Um, yeah, 32 minutes. I believe that's the longest I've ever done. That's not a double episode. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that one. If maybe I'm missing an episode. The episode one was pretty long as well for this season, of 42, because it was introducing all the characters. So no, I'm gonna say the finale. If someone can find a longer episode, let me know, and I'll take the L on that one. The next question is, what would there be a challenge where Brett eats the paper? Brett, if he turned into a psychopath, and maybe like my strange addictions, he likes eating paper or something. That might be his little weird addiction. But I must say, I would not enjoy filming that whatsoever. I would not only would the papers be ruined, they would taste terrible. But you never know. Brett has a mind of his own, so you never know. The next question is: was there a time when an episode was deleted for copyright claim? Yes, there was. Well, no. Well, I don't know. But my old channel, which had the first 13 seasons, and Exile Island, which was 14, they all got deleted. And YouTube never gave me a reason why. But I'm going to assume it's because of copyright. Back then, I knew very little about copyright. I was like, "Oh, it's copyright. What's the worst that can happen?" Turns out, bad shit can happen. But on the new season, on the new episodes, I've never had a episode removed. Because like I hate and I always fear. Like I see other paper shows and they like use like music from animes and TV shows. I'm like, I'm never risking that again. I'm never risking that again. I'm never, not ever, because it happened to me once. And could you, if I lost all of my seeds, like if my channel got deleted again, I lost all my other seeds, I'd be done. Like I don't know what I would do. Actually, I will say I do have one season that's coming up, which I actually have filmed an intro for. Like other paper shows film intros, I've actually done one, and but the music I used has a copyright claim on it because I uploaded it to my second channel just to make sure, um, just to make sure it was fine. But it says it has a copyright claim, so now I'm not sure whether or not I'm actually going to use the intro. I really like the intro, but I do not want to risk getting my channel taken down. No, it's just not a risk I want to take. But we'll see. But I guess yes, I've had episodes. I've had whole seasons taken down because of it. I had a whole channel taken down because of it, but not on the new channel. I very rarely use copyright music. Even in my elimination orders, I use music from no copyright sounds, which is no copyright sounds, so no copyright there. The next question, I think the final question is: was there a time in TDN where you had enough with a contestant you hated? And to be frank, there's not a lot of contestants I hate. I used to say McGill, I hated him. Although I watched back the season, just the first 6 episodes when he was in, and I actually quite enjoyed him. So I don't know why old me hated McGill so much. And I also didn't like Ali Naja in 36, but she redeemed herself in 38 for me. So, um, no, I've never like hated a character so much. I just wanted to get rid of them. I don't think that's ever happened before. Um, but thank you a lot for your questions. I appreciate it. Next up, we have a few questions from Survivor Sans viewer voting. So that first question is Eat Pie from TDN. This is a Q&A, not a dare. So sorry, but no. The next question is what happened to the old cutout of Survivor Sans? All of my old cutouts, you can't see it. They're in the drawer. It's right there. There's an old drawer right there. So probably in there somewhere. I did give away a few of my cutouts to like when Pie came over. Pie. I gave him some of the paper cutout. I believe I gave him one cutout of you, Sans, but I printed out I think two of you, so I think I still have one in my drawer. So that's the answer I'm going to give. Next question is: can you have everyone from your paper cutout collection surround Sexy Boy Purple? I can. The only problem is that would make zero sense, and that would my whole room would be covered in paper, and I have to clean it up, which would be not good. The next question is: if Blue Toad was not the host, who would you have chosen instead? Good question. I chose Blue Toad because he wore blue. And I'm like, whoa, he's wore blue. That doesn't make any sense. And I was thinking of blue because hosts like Jeff Probst, Chris McLean, and even Jonathan LaPaglia, who Australian Survivor host, they all wear like navy blue. And I said, okay, well, I want my host to wear blue as well. And I just said, you know what? Blue Toad. Why not? Best decision I ever made because Blue Toad's iconic. And I think they have one last question, which is hug, please. Let's have a virtual hug. Why not? There we go. Yeah, coming in. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot for your questions. Next up, we have SpongeBob SquarePants Fan 2006. That first question is: who is my favorite TDI 2023 character? Not really TDN, but I'll answer it anyways. Favorite TDI 2023 character? I've watched the season back like 8 times, and at this point, my favorite's Wayne and Raj. Just the duo, they're amazing. I'm gonna say Wayne and Raj for now. Hopefully, one of them can make the finale next season. The next question is: who's my least favorite TDI character from the new season? Millie for sure. Millie was so filler, so boring, and I also didn't like Priya. And honestly, that's that. I know people go, "Why did you like Priya?" She was just so predictable. Like I knew I got leaked the final three, so I knew the final three was Millie, Priya, and Bowie. I didn't know who was going to win, but I knew they were the final three. And even through watching the season, I was like, wow, this is predictable. Wow, okay. Like I knew Priya was going to get. I knew she was, but even if I didn't get spoiled, I still would have known that Priya was going to get to the end. It was so predictable. Um, I guess that's one of the biggest flaws I have with the new season. It's still a fantastic season. It was just Priya. merely they're just not good characters in my eyes. I just don't like the stereotype of, oh, my parents forced me to go to all of these camps, and I'm like, okay, well, ha ha ha, ha, but whatever. Okay. Third question is top five TDN seasons. Good question. Finally, I can reveal this. I actually opened this earlier because I thought I might need it when people ask me about TDN seasons. These are my TDN seasons ranked, all of my seasons. So when someone asked me before what is my least favorite season, if I scroll down, you'll see the redo, Battle of the Genders, Return of the X. So these are like my least favorite ones. Exile Island, which was the cancelled season. Um, yeah. So my top few favorite seasons. Fury is my favorite. I've said that heaps of times. Fans vs Favorites 2, Champion Stone, World Tour Phoenix Rising would be my top 5. So that would be my top 5. So thank you, SpongeBob, for your questions. Really appreciate it. Next up, we've got a question from Ike Anderson. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And they asked, will you make a villains only season? And I think I'm not sure. I think if I was going to do a season, I would do one with all the antagonists of TDN, not villains, like just villains from that source material. I would actually do antagonists. But you never know. I could do a villain season one day. There are heaps of villains that I would like to see compete, whether they have or haven't before. So you never know. Could happen. Cheers for that question. Next up, we got one from Alphabet Law 9722. Hopefully I pronounced that right. That first question is, who is your favorite in season 42? See, this is why I wanted to release this after the season aired, because if I answered this, people would be like, "Oh, that's a hint. He spoiled it." My favorite in 42 was Veruca. I think she played the best game in the season. Oh, by the way, I haven't said this yet. I forgot to mount it because when I filmed this before and it didn't save, I mentioned it, but I forgot. Tomorrow I'm going to release my winner tier list tomorrow. So if you are keen for that, it'll be uploaded tomorrow. So if there's any questions regarding like winners, you'll have to save and watch them there. But my favorite from 42 is Veruca. My second favorite is Red, and third favorite would probably be someone like Jacko. So I'd say they're my top three. But Veruca, she dominated, and that O'Hare as well, really good player. But she dominated. But you'll see that tomorrow in the winner tier list where I'd rank Veruca. Next question is: will there be a season 43? If you saw the finale today, you would know pretty much what's happening for 43. There are some links. Not they'll probably be below this video. I'll probably put them. I'll probably just chuck them below this video as well. You can vote. You can click any of the four links, and you can vote players back from 41 and 42. Voting will end next week, and yeah, they're going to be the players. There's going to be 20 players next season. 10 from 41, 10 from 42. So there is a 43, but there's also a 44, a 45, and 46. That's all I've planned so far. I've planned up to 46, but I'll probably do more than that as well. The next question is, do you like Super Mario Wonder? Yes, I'm actually super excited. That's not a TDN question, but I am very excited for Mario Bros. Wonder. I am 100% getting it. As a die-hard Mario fan, you best believe I'm getting Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Maybe I'll do a few gameplays of it, who knows? So cheers, Alphabet Law, for your questions. Next, we got a few questions from Jose, the MHA fan 2005. That first question is, what is one of your favorite seasons you've made? And I guess if you would like to see just in depth, these are. I'm going to quickly just scroll down for you, just so you can see every single season in like ranked. I still agree with most of these. I wouldn't. Maybe I change a few, but I'm not going to yet. Maybe one day I'll do a winner ranking, not winner, a season ranking. So we'll see there. But yeah, I guess my favorites are like Fist of Fury, fans' favorite, Champions Throne. So yeah, they are what I consider my favorite seasons. Second question is, who is my favorite TDN character? Now, if it comes down to just in general, Blue Toad is my favorite character. I also really like Brett, Sour Bill as well. Um, but in terms of contestant, Neku. Any day of the week, Neku is a great character. Red as well. Red's one of my favorites, just because he's so fun. So I'm gonna say Neku and Red are my favorite characters in TDN. Not Neku. Red wasn't my favorite in 42. Um, but he's my favorite. He's one of my favorites just in general. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And finally, they asked who is my favorite, or was my favorite part of making TDN, and I guess I would answer with creative freedom. I heard someone talking about that the other day on my Discord server, and he said, Jesse probably enjoys TDN because of the creative freedom. I was like, yeah, that's right, pretty much. Shout out to, I think his name's Mario Superstar. So shout out to you if you're watching this. Um, yeah, having creative freedom, getting to put the characters in that I like the looks of, and getting to bring some of you guys in as well. Everyone hyping up some seasons, episodes. Having characters that everyone hates, having characters that everyone loves. It's all fun. It's all super fun. So cheers, Jose, for your questions. Next up, we got a few questions from TBOP Official 3, which I believe stands for the Battle of Paper Official. So that first question is, what was your least favorite season of film, not least favorite season in general? Good question. Now, I don't. This could be shocking. This might not be shocking. My least favorite season in general is the redo, but in terms of filming, it's Abandoned and Alone. 50 episodes. It took like 5 months to film. I enjoy watching it back, but filming it, yeah, eventually I was just like, speed this up. But yeah, I'd say Abandoned and Alone. Still love the season. Uh, the winner is one of my favorite winners in the series, but you'll see that tomorrow as well in the winner ranking. But just as a season, yeah, I also felt like season had quite a few filler characters as well. But I guess that's what happens when you have 73 players. So yeah, the next question is, who do you consider the most underrated winner? I don't really talk about this tomorrow. I don't really talk about an underrated winner, but I do think someone who was slept on. I know a few doors will probably be to the floor. DK. I know the redo is the worst season. It is, but I don't think DK is a bad winner. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think he's a good winner, but I don't think he's a bad winner. You'll see that tomorrow. Next is, which winner do you wish were changed? You'll see this tomorrow. There are a few characters, I'm not going to name exactly how much, but there are characters that you'll see tomorrow where I'll say I wish I changed the winner, and I'll tell you who I wish I changed them with. So you'll have to watch the video tomorrow to see that question. So sorry for leaving you on a cliffhanger like that. And that final question, oh no, question 4, how do you decide the boot order on any season? Is it planned? Sometimes I make plans before the season, like 42 had a whole planned out elimination order. The whole elimination order was planned out, and I didn't follow it. Okay, okay, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about the original plan for 42. Now I know when you hear the changes that I made, you're probably gonna be like, "Why did you change it?" But I think every single change I made the season better. Maybe to you, you'd be like, "No, you should have stuck with what you were gonna do." But this is it. Okay, in my original boot order, because I planned the whole boot order. Dino T Rex was the first boot, still the same. Conductor went second. Scratch went third. Ninja went out fourth. Oh, he ended up being the ninth boot in a double elimination, ninth by 10th. He was the original fourth boot. And the fifth boot was Veruca. She was originally, in my original plan, going to be the fifth boot. Characters that also went out extremely early, Red and Terrence go out in a double elimination extremely early, I believe ninth and 10th boots. Oya and Edna go out in a double elimination pretty early on as well. Now I know what you're wondering. Who was the original winner gonna be? Who was the original what was the original plan? Okay. I think once I tell you my original final three, because I never decided a winner, I just planned a final three. I think a lot of you will be like, that should have been the final three. But I do not regret the final three whatsoever. I still think this final three is the best final three in the franchise. But my original plan for the original final three of 42, the original final three was going to be LeBron James, Kuriguri, and Jimmy Neutron. But that changed really early on. I mean, LeBron got seventh boot. So that was the original final three plan, but I'm glad I didn't stick with it because I still think Veruca is a really good winner. Ohe got some redemption in Red. I really liked him. And I'm thinking, if Red and Terrence went out in a double elimination early on, who would have the antagonist would have been? I'm so glad I kept Red in for a long time. I'm so happy. And I know people like, but Terrence should have bet Red. I'm like, no. Red was a better character than Terrence. Think about it. Terrence sounds like this. His voice is hard to do. It actually hurts. Well, which doesn't hurt. It's exhausting. But you get my point. Like, it's like, I don't know. I just like Red way more. So I'm sorry that went for a really long time, just explaining it. But that, yeah. To answer your question, because I don't think I've answered it. I hate planning seasons out. Going with the flow always works better. If I planned out this season, I don't know. I don't think it would have been very good. You're gonna be like, oh, but Jimmy or Kuriguri or LeBron would have won. But I'm like, okay, they would have. But number one, I still think Veruca is a better winner than any of those three would have been if I stuck with my original plan. And well, it would have been a very predictable and boring season. It would have been stale and original, everything. So just do not plan seasons. Do not plan winners. Do not plan elimination orders. Just do not go with the flow. If you have someone who you think deserves to win, decide that in the final five. After you're in the final five, think, sit down and go, who deserves to win? Then decide your winner. Don't day one decide your winner. Because, again, Veruca was originally meant to be the fifth boot. And I didn't decide on Veruca winning until the final five, I believe, of this season. I said Veruca deserves to win the most, so she's going to win. But yeah, sorry, that was a long talk. So forgive me for that. And the final question is, if there was one season theme you could bring back for a future season that hasn't been already, which one would it be? And my answer, 100% Rift of Rivals. I would do another rival season because ever since 35, we've gotten heaps of new rivals. Heaps. Think about it. We got in 36, we got Neku and Pingu. I think there was another rival in that season as well, but I can't think of it. 37, we didn't really have any rivals. I guess you could say like Benny and Callista, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe. 38, you didn't really have anyone, but you had more of Neku and Pingu. 39, you had Ring Fit Trainee and Eva, as well as Brendan and Cody. And then season 40, you didn't really have anyone. In season 41, Phoenix Rising, you had Foreman, Spike, and Izzy as rivals. And then in 42, you obviously have Red and Terrence. So, heaps of rivals I would love to see come back in a rival season. So I probably will eventually do another rival season. Forgive me for that. So cheers for your questions. And they also said Lab better be in 43. Well, as you know, 43 is exclusively for 41 and 42 players. But there are other returning seasons, and I think Lab very well could be in one of those seasons. That's all I want to say. Thank you very much for your questions. Next, we've got a few questions coming to us by ETG715. That first question is, what is my opinion on old contestants and old seasons? And to answer that, well, I can't watch the old seasons. I do think a lot of the winners from the original 1 to 13, spoilers again for tomorrow, but I think a lot of them are like mid. Maybe that's just like I can't watch them back, so I can't really remember. But you'll see what I mean tomorrow. But I guess in terms of just characters, well, they're the ones who led the way to the future season. So without them, we wouldn't have all of these, future seasons. So that's how I would answer that. The next question is, what's my opinion on Julius and Kabuto competitions? I do think Julius was quite an interesting character, and I actually really like the thing he had going with Raven from Teen Titans. So Julius again, I just talked about with Lab before that there are going to be future returning seasons. Julius could be in one of those returning seasons, so we'll see what happens. The next question is, any thoughts on collaborating with other paper shows or more crossover seasons? At this point, I don't have any plans. I'm not going to rule it out because I love crossing over. But in order for me to cross over, I genuinely have to be like, ooh, I don't want to miss out on that. That looks too good to miss out on. I don't want it to be like, yeah, let's collab, let's do it. Let's just have a fun little time collabing. Like, I genuinely want it to be something amazing. So, I mean obviously I did the two crossovers with TDI fam. But I don't have any plans right now for a crossover, so nothing right now. But of course, not ruling it out. We never know. That fourth question is: any more plans on remaking seasons like that Adventure Camp did with the Adventure Camp season? I obviously did remake. Well, I started remaking season one, and I hate the remake. It's so shit. So it's only has 4 episodes. It's still on YouTube, but I'm not making it anymore. I've stopped it because it already sucks. I reused the same challenge twice already. I'm not. I'm stopping. But you don't know what? You never know. At the point, I don't have any plans, but we never know. I could. The next question is, no, the final question is, will there be moments in a season where the viewers get to request challenges or characters? If you go to my Discord server, the HOH crew, you can request characters and challenges right there. Even if you're not on the Discord server, right now the links are open for Survey Monkey, where you can vote people back for 41 from 41 and 42 go to 43. Your vote could make the difference. So yeah, I guess right now you can request characters. I'm not really requesting characters, but you're picking characters to come back. So yeah, but of course, join the Discord server if you haven't. You can find the link to that in the About section of my channel, and then you'll see 2 links to my Instagram and my Discord. I don't use Instagram anymore. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll never see me post again because I've stopped. I've pretty much deleted the app. But Discord, yes, you can join me on Discord right there. So cheers for your questions. Next, we got questions from Arctic Ace. That question is top 5 TDN couples. Now, I don't actually have a top 5 in terms of like, oh, this is my favorite, this is my second favorite, third favorite. But there are couples that I would consider that I like. So I do like Ace and Shantae. I like Trigo and French. I would say those two are the big highlights, along with O'Hare and Edna, who are now one of my favorite couples from this new season. I just love the concept. At first, O'Hare was the simp, and Edna was like, "Get away from me." And then over time, they like grew closer and closer and closer. And then they turned into the most powerful duo in the final five, and they got taken out. Well, Edna did. So yeah, I really love the arc, and I would love to see those two return next season, but that is up to you. I might even put them on the same team, maybe different teams. I'm not sure, but love to see. Maybe one of them will come back. I'm not sure. But top 5, like here's the thing: a lot of couples like HOH and Wendy, like I don't know if I would even consider them couples anymore. Like Inkling and Rosalina, I'm like, is that even a couple anymore? King and Starlo, like no. You know, like Cloud and Zero Suit Samus, no. Eevee, Sonic, no. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do another Return of the X season, just because a lot of the couples I felt was so forced. Like, the ones I mentioned, Trico and French, O'Hare and Edna and Ace and Shantae, genuinely had build up. They didn't just come together and like, hey, I like you too. They genuinely had a lot going on for them. They had stories that were told. And Matrico and French were sort of rivals in season 16. And then they came together in season 18, and that's when they fell in love. So, again, they all had build up, the couples that I mentioned. Other couples, I don't really like them. So, they're probably not even going to be couples anymore. So, the 3 I mentioned, they'll probably be the only ones. Also, like David and Missy, I forgot to mention that, but also like just with the twist with dementia, we never saw them compared again, so I don't know if I'd consider them still a couple. So yeah, the 3 I said are the only 3 couples I like. HOH and Wendy I used to like. Inkling Boy and Rosalina I used to like too, but now I'm just like, not really. So cheers for your questions. Next up, we got a question from Shiny Fiery TPI, and they asked, are there going to be BFDI characters in the new season of TDN, and how do you decide the cast for seasons? I will say in the next newbie season there isn't any BFDI characters, but there might be one in the future newbie season that isn't the next newbie season. And how do I decide the cast? I just look for characters that look interesting, and of course, you guys can request characters in the Discord, so I also look at characters that you guys are requesting, and if they look interesting, then I'll add them. So it's a mix of those two. So hopefully that answered your question. Thanks for asking it. The next questions come to us by Levi OC. Who are my top 5 TDN winners? And I'm not going to answer this because you'll see tomorrow when I do the winner ranking. I feel like if I say it now, it's going to take away all the excitement. So yeah, you'll see that tomorrow. Second question is, what are my top 5 TDN seasons? And again, you can see them all here. I'm still pretty happy with that. I'm pretty confident. I like how 41 and 42 are both in my top 5, but it's true they both are. Third question is, what is my favourite rivals besides from HOH and Inkling Boy? HOH and Inkling Boy, they're pretty iconic. They haven't been my favorite for a while. I preferred Rivals over like Sans and Pie instead. But I would say right now, my favorites are Red and Terrence. I just really like that dynamic. So yeah. Fourth question is, what was your opinion on me in TDN looming in the shadows? Again, Levi, there are returning seasons coming up, and I would love to see you return. Obviously, I can't give away too much, but I do. Your character in 39 was very, very interesting. I think I could have done a little more with you, and hey, you never know. One day we could get that redemption. So we'll see what happens there. And that final question is, who are your top five least favorite TDN winners? And you'll also see that tomorrow. So I'm sorry for not answering two of your questions, but you'll get to see your two questions I didn't answer answered really in depth tomorrow. So thanks for asking the questions, Levi. Next, we got a question from Lucas Mummy 20 or 20. That question is: have you ever lost or ripped paper characters? I'm like I rip paper characters all the time. Like it's not like a massive rip, but got little rips in them. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I lost characters, but I just can't find them because I keep them all in the little cupboard. I think I already pointed to it already. But yeah, they're not. I know they're in there, but I just can't find them, and I'd look for an hour for them. So no, from now on, I just reprint the characters. I look for them for 5 minutes. If I can't find them, I just reprint them. I'm just too lazy now. Um, thanks for that question, Lucas. Next, we have a question from Dinson the First. What is your least favorite season so far as of now? And my least favorite is obviously 15. I also obviously don't like Battle of the Genders, not the X. Just I don't really like them. I think that might have been the only question they asked. I am excited for TDN season at 18 and 19. Yeah, it's actually 18 and 19 felt ages ago, bro. I opened this question before 18 and 19. That's crazy. So thanks, Dinson, for your question. Next, we got Tennis Ball Productions 2141. Do you have any advice for when it comes to making a paper show? I do. I think when it comes to making a paper show, you need to have a few things. You need to be confident. If you're not confident, then like people who doubt themselves and doubt their episodes. Like if you make an episode, you watch it back and say, "Oh, I don't know how people are going to feel about it." Well, if you're not confident, then how are we going to be confident? So I encourage you to be confident in what you're making. If you like it, I'm sure we're gonna like it. Be sure have a loud, clear voice. Um, just pick characters that you like and just have fun. That's really all. I would obviously recommend having like an editing software like iMovie or CapCut, just so you can do things more freely. It makes the episodes flow a bit faster. But I know not everyone has access to that sort of stuff. But I guess just do it the best you can. If you're happy with what you're releasing, I'm sure everyone else will be. And I think yeah, last one was a love heart. So that's for Lysander. Thank you, Lysander. Love heart back and love heart to every single one of you. Literally, I hearted all your comments, which means we are done. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully, I answered all of your questions in perfect order. And if I didn't answer your questions, it's because you'll have to watch the video tomorrow. My winner ranking. Few hot takes in there for sure. I think there'll be a few hot takes in there, but I don't regret any of my rankings. So, alright, I'm going to leave it with that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. So, take care!